Hey guys, so how are y'all doing? Hopefully everybody's doing great. So I'm actually here at my house today. I need to make some snagless sinker weights, and I had some guys kind of messaging me asking me, how I go about making these things um, at the house today because I had to cancel my trip. The weather said it was supposed to rain, and it actually didn't. So still, I had to make some of these. Had to do some Christmas shopping. So it actually kind of worked out for me here today. So I'm going to kind of go through and just kind of show you what are some of the pieces that I need to make those, how many you're going to need, what the cost is, and what the cost is to buy one of these in the store. So first off, to tell you the cost to buy one of these in the store, they actually sell them in a pack of one. And for one, it's going to cost you $3.99. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you're doing a lot of drifting and you kind of tend to get snagged up a lot and you lose a lot of your rigs, that cost starts to add up pretty quick. So what I do is I just make all mine by myself, and these are all the pieces that I need. So first off, you need some weights, okay? So I kind of have one pre-made, but I'm going to make one just to show you guys. But what I buy is, there's a store here called Academy, and they sell these water gremlin weights, and Gander Mountain sells these also. But at Academy, they're 99 cents. So they're quarter-ounce egg weights, and they come in a pack of 11. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need a barrel swirl, not too big. The one I actually use, it's a size 5. And I get these at Bass Pro. They come in a pack of 25. You're also going to need some beads. And I don't have the package of beads right now with me, but the beads, they're 8mm, so 8mm. They come in a pack of 50, and these run you about $2.99. The other thing you're going to need, you don't need this, but if you want to get that rubber housing on it, you need it. If you don't want to use it, you can just make it like this, so you can bypass this part. But if you do want to make it just look, a little bit better, give it a little bit more support, you're going to need some heat shrink. So I actually bought this. There's a store here called Harbor Freight, and this is a 5/16 tubing, and it comes in a pack of 8 feet. Okay, and then you're going to need some fishing line to connect everything together. I actually use the Trilene Big Cat, and this is 30 pound. So not counting the line, because most everybody usually already has line to spare, and this one has 275 yards, so this is going to last you a lot. So not counting the cost of this, just using the cost of everything else to make one. Again, pre-made, $3.99 for one. Now if you end up buying 18 packages of these, so they're 99 cents at Academy, so there's 11 in here. If you buy 18 of these, you can make 25 sets. And the reason I'm using the number 25 is because the barrel swivels already come, one pack comes in a pack of 25. And then the beads, they come in a pack of 50. So you're going to use 2 beads, and you're going to use 1 barrel swivel. So 1 pack of beads, with the 50, double it up, you'll get 25. You already have a pack of barrel swivels at 25. Then just end up buying your weights. So 18 packages. The heat shrink, you'll need about 2 of these, and they're $1.99. So 2 of these will help complete your set of making 25 of these finished rigs. So you may think 25 is a lot, but the total cost to make 25 of those is actually $31. The total cost to buy 8 pre-made is $31.92. So to buy 8 of these, you can actually make 25 of these on your own. So as you can kind of see, cost-wise, a lot more effective to just make them on your own. So we have all the parts we need, so let's go ahead and just make some real quick, and I'll show you how I make them. And it's really, really easy, guys. That's why a lot of times I tell a lot of guys that I meet at the lake, cost effectiveness, it's a lot easier to just make these on your own than to go out and buy them. So first thing, start off with a barrel swivel. Just get your line. I'm just going to do a clinch knot on this guy. So I'm going to do about 5 turns. This is 1. So clinch knot, guys, if you don't know, just run it through the line. You're going to spin it about 5 times. So just spin it around your line. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. You're going to run it back to the hole where you started. Not sure how well you can see that. But just get the tag in, wet it a little bit, and you're done. So it's going to cinch up, should look like that. Alright? Cut yourself off a piece. Doesn't matter how long it is, just make sure it's a little bit long, but you just want to cut it off. Let's go ahead and grab your beads. So you're going to put the first bead through the bottom. And you're going to need 8 of those 1/4 ounce weights. So 8 of those weights is going to be 2 ounces. So for drifting, that works pretty good. It helps you keep your bait on the bottom. So you just want to run them through one by one. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully I don't drop them. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So once you get them all through there, grab your second bead. Just run it on through. So here's kind of like the little trick, guys. Once you run it through the bead, come back through the bottom. I don't know how I can show that to you. Come back to the bottom. Go back to that same hole. Alright? After you go back through that, it's just going to tighten up, and then you can pull it down. So that already right there holds pretty well. So the only trick I can kind of say on the beads, they sell an 8mm, and I don't have anything to show you. But they have an 8mm that has a really small hole, and they have an 8mm where you're going to see the hole in the center. It's a little bit, you know, it's got a little wider diameter. Get the one with the smaller diameter, because it's going to already hold in place for you. If you get the one that has a little bit bigger diameter, this bead's going to keep swimming back and forth, and it makes it for a little bit of a hassle for the next step. So once you cinch it all the way down, all I'm going to do is just a simple, just going to do a loop and just run the line through. That's it. You're just making a little loop. And you're actually going to put this over your line. And usually what I do, see how this part of the line is already over? I'll put that between my thumbs. And then when I close this guy down, the other half of the line runs over. So it's split in between the two. So I'm actually going to do that 4 times, guys. So it's one, it's the same loop. After you do that first one, it doesn't matter where the line's being held. But you got the first one. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then our 4th. That's it. So it's out in place. So just cut your tag end off, and you're done. So if you don't want to put that rubber housing over, you are pretty much complete already. Just cut your other tag end. That's probably a little bit too long. So there you go, guys. Once you start doing this pretty frequently, you get a lot faster, but even the way I did it, I don't know, it probably took less than a minute. But this is your snagless sinker weight for drifting, if you want to drift fish for catfish. Works pretty well. Now then, if you want to put the rubber housing on it, it's a little bit more trickier. I just have some extra line just kind of laying around. Just going to run this through about halfway. And what I'm going to use this for is, once I start running it through this rubber housing, I'm going to need to pull on it to get it through. So usually the first time I'll just get a pen and I'll just run it through this. Just kind of get it open a little bit. And if you're wondering the length that I cut this, you just need to cut it about the full length of what your drift weight is. Show you without the thing. It's about as long as you want to cut it. I actually think it's about 5 and almost a half inches. So once you've kind of opened it up a little bit, just run your line through it. And again, this line is just going to help you to pull that weight through. So you don't need to start pulling right from the get-go. This kind of does help out. If you try just pulling that rubber with your hand, it's a little rough. Your hand keeps sliding, makes it a little bit difficult. So what I ended up doing is just get some workman's gloves, and before you start pulling that line, you actually can just push this through. And the gloves give you pretty good control, and it doesn't slide on you. So you're actually able to push it a pretty good distance, almost all the way down. Okay. Now once you get to that point, again, the gloves help because you can kind of wrap your hands around the line so you don't cut yourself. And just real slow. Don't put too much pressure because you don't want to break that line. Just keep sliding that through, guys. Once it gets down to the end, you're done. Cool. Get your gloves off. And the last piece you need, guys, so this is called heat shrink. So what you want to do is you can actually get a hair dryer. You don't need any special tool for that. Just get your wife's hair dryer, or if you have a hair dryer, if you have long hair. I don't, I'm bald. But just get yourself a hair dryer, and you're going to heat this up. Let me show you real quick. Alright guys, it's going to be a little hot. Don't try and hold it too long. But yeah, basically that's it, guys. So this is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like before you heat it up. And then after you heat that heat shrink, that's how it looks. So now you're ready to go. Line's still good. You now have your Snagless sinker weight with the rubber housing on it, guys. So it's still a little flexible. Still kind of helps when you go over like lumps or logs or rocks. So this should help you help prevent snags a lot better. Like I said, this still works if you don't want to do that housing. This one's just a lot more flexible. Sometimes I've noticed when I do catch catfish, if the catfish starts to roll around, sometimes that line will wrap up in between the beads, and then sometimes I will cut that line and I end up losing the beads. So this in theory should help prevent that. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But yeah, there you go, guys. So if you want to end up making these, that's how I make them. Like I said, they're called Snagless sinker weights. Like I said, again, you can buy them in the stores, $3.99 for one. Or if you want to make a little bit of an expense, about 31 bucks, guys, you can make 25 sets. Okay, so again, 25 of those sets compared to buying 8 of these at the same cost. So hopefully you like the videos, guys. If you have any comments, questions, leave them on the bottom. Feel free to ask, and see you guys at the lake next time. Thanks. Bye.